Show. He teaches sports commentary at USC, a former sports columnist for the Daily News in New York and the Detroit News, the FS1 instigator, Rob Parker.
What's happening, Colin?
It's Rob. It is a pleasure to see you.
I got a question for you real quick.
You got a smile on your face.
Do you have Jordans at home? We're the same age. Do you own any Jordans?
Let me see. I've had Jordans before. Are those Jordans?
Yeah.
Those are nice.
I love the Jordans.
Yeah.
What's happening? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. So you're not going to get worked up over this Game 1 loss, are you?
I'm not going to get worked up, but I just don't remember. And I don't want to be one of these guys who always looks and says, did Michael Jordan ever get blown out all the time in these Game 1s? It's like with regularity where LeBron comes out and, I don't know, takes the night off. Is that the right way? Survey the land, counts the attendance. Is that what he's doing? Sometimes I just don't get it.
But you know that 37 of the 65 playoff games so far this year, we got a lot more left, have been blowouts. Like with the 3-ball, Rob, these wild swings, you can be down 24 in 8 minutes. Even if you were bad in the 80s and 90s, you were down 11. You weren't down 24. LeBron's winning by a lot, losing by a lot. In Miami was the same way.
No doubt. And you're right, because when you go 0 for 12 from 3 in the first half,
you're
ball
done.
Game.
Ball game.
It's ball game. There's no doubt about it. And that's what I thought, too. That's the one bad thing I hate about the 3, and with Steph Curry and all his success with it and change the league and everybody just shooting threes.
Yeah.
It's bad. But I'll tell you this. The one thing about LeBron and all the talk this postseason that kind of rubs me the wrong way is this whole notion that, like, LeBron, the clutch argument is dead because he made 2 shots, game-winning shots during these NBA playoffs. And the only problem, Colin, is that both of those shots, they were not clutch shots. They're tied scores in both of those games. There's a big difference when you take a shot with the score tied compared to your team being down. Would you agree with that as far as clutch? If it's tied, I don't have nothing to lose. It's win-win. No. Either we're going to overtime or I'm the hero. We're not losing.
There's something to be said for that. I mean, I'm trying to think back to my high school basketball career. If the game is tied,
there's a different mentality.
Yeah, no, it is. You come out of the huddle, it doesn't feel like it's on you. You're only going to be a hero. Nobody's a GOAT for missing a tied game shot.
Because if they were down by 1 or 2 and he made shots to win, totally different. Because normally
you save a loss.
Right.
You save elimination.
What we've seen in the past is that ball would go to Kyle Korver or something. It would be passed to somebody else.
You don't think LeBron's clutch, though?
I'm just saying, not based off those 2 shots where people are ready to put it to bed. I've seen LeBron give up the basketball way too often in spots where his team is down looking for somebody else to make a shot.
Okay.
Would you agree?
Well,
you've seen that?
This is where I disagree.
Kyle Korver, you remember the last time he's at the basket, Draymond Green has 5 fouls, right?
Yes.
LeBron's at the basket, and the pass goes, that's the one me and Rick Barry had a fight over. And the pass goes all the way over to Kyle Korver, who missed the 3, and they lose that game.
Well, LeBron's more magic than Michael. This is one of the things people always go to, well, Michael was the killer, and Michael was a scorer. LeBron is more Swiss Army knife. Michael was 1-9 in playoff series until Pippen arrived, meaning even Michael needed another guy.
There's no doubt. I've never said that. Nobody thinks that you can win by yourself.
Okay, so LeBron yesterday, the second best player the Cavs had was Kevin Love, who was 5 for 14, meaning, listen, you get down, you miss a bunch of, if Love hits 3 or 4 of those threes, we got ourselves a fascinating Game 1. Game was over at half because Kevin Love couldn't hit open threes. And so my point is, LeBron can only do what he can do. Listen, you and I both know he's great.
He is great. I've always said that. He's a great player, just not the greatest.
You want him to be more aggressive. And to that I would say Michael was aggressive but turned a lot of teammates off, and Kobe was more aggressive but turned a lot of teammates off, and that's their personality. LeBron's more magic. He's more communal. That's his spirit. That's his game. That's okay.
But isn't it always, I always say, even in my case, it's not about always wanting to be liked by other people. Just respect it. And I can respect the guy who wants to win and believes in his ability and is going to take things into his own control. I respect that. I don't have to like you. I think too often people who try to get everybody to like them, everybody's not going to like you.
Right.
I can remember the day I came home. I might have told you this before, but my late mom, she told me this. It's always stuck with me, Colin. Came home, I was a kid. Hey, the kids don't like me, or that was something I said like that. And she said, everybody didn't like Jesus Christ either. You know what? You're in good company. Everybody's not going to like you. That's what she said. It's always stuck with me for the rest of my life.
Mother's Day was yesterday, so tip of the cap. Your late mother's name was?
Mary Parker.
Oh, that's
yes.
Awesome. That almost sounds like a Broadway. Mary Parker
Mary
on Broadway.
Parker, there you go.
So, listen, I told you this. If Houston gets routed, it's a 5-game series, and they just get beat badly. And I do think Golden State now is tired of hearing about how great Houston is. I think Golden State's over hearing about how great it's an opening for LeBron. Because, listen, there's no reason to leave Cleveland unless you're looking to be the GOAT. Just stay in your hometown in your $30 million house. Why would you leave Cleveland? If you really care about being greatest of all time, then you go to a Philly. Then you go to LeBrockets. If Houston gets blown out, it creates the feeling around the league that they'll never beat Golden State. They need a savior. LeBron swoops into Houston. LeBron, Chris Paul, Harden, D'Antoni, Clint Capella. Golden State's dynasty fades, injuries. My feeling is if Houston gets crushed in this series, LeBron goes to Houston. You think I'm crazy?
No, I don't think you're crazy, but I don't think it helps him in the GOAT race. I really doesn't. I think people look at it as LeBron hitching his wagon, hoping, wishing to win a couple more championships, and people will see through it because already when you calculate that this year's loss, right, will be 6.
Right.
He's already the Fofo. I told you that finals failure of all time. Fofo. He's already there. And if he loses again, and God forbid he goes to Houston and they do an OKC and they can't get together and it doesn't work, you know what I mean?
Because then you think it hurts his legacy.
It hurts him because then it's like, wait a minute, he went there and he still didn't win. All he was doing was chasing rings.
Let me ask you this. Don't we think more about Kevin Durant today? And everybody said in the moment, Rob, chasing rings, Kevin Durant's not loyal, Kevin Durant's a fraud. A year later, we're arguing, Durant's better than LeBron James. LeBron watches how we've treated Durant. There was never any argument LeBron was better than Durant. Durant beats him in one series. Everybody's like, Durant's better than LeBron. LeBron's like, oh, really? Because none of us, we all live in the short term.
But the only difference is, even when you look at Durant, you don't look at him on the same plateau as Michael Jordan. LeBron James was the chosen one. He was supposed to be the next great thing.
Yeah.
And because of him, Michael Jordan came to the Chicago Bulls. They were bad. They had never won anything. You know it.
Right.
They were bad. And remember, Jordan used to get beat up by the Pistons and the Knicks and other teams. It was not like that. I think a lot of people forget. You remember this. People used to dog Michael Jordan. He's only a dunker. He can't shoot. He's not that great. Ball hog. He scored 63 points against the Celtics in a game they didn't win.
Okay, but
they never said. They said Michael Jordan won't win anything.
Okay, but once he did, it changed everything, and that's my point. LeBron knows that if you win, people don't give a rip about the rest. Once you win a championship, nobody cares that you're. We've had people win championships that are jerks, that have done illegal things, that aren't good people. LeBron's looking at Durant and thinking, you people say Durant's better than me because he won one championship with an all-star team. We're all prisoners of the moment, and if LeBron went to Houston, which is the one place he could go and win, we're all going to forget about all this stuff and just go, God, he won 2 titles in Houston. He won 2 in Cleveland. He won.
But we're not going to forget about the 6 or 7 losses that he has in the finals either. That's all I'm saying is, yes, does he need to win at least another 1 or 2 to stay in that, even have that conversation? Would you admit if he loses this year in the finals and maybe one more, that conversation's over?
Well, let's just wait and see where he goes. I think he's got 4 years left.
4 years?
He wins. He's the best player in the league now. You think he's going to turn into a Rudy Gay tomorrow?
I don't.
Come on. Give me a break. All right. Good seeing you, Rob.
Always a pleasure.
The FS1 instigator, Rob Harper.
I just got one question.
What?
When will the Supreme Court put Pete Rose in the Baseball Hall of Fame now, since they're all in on the gambling?
That's not going to work.
No, not going to happen?
No. But we can all bet $50 in a game now and not go to jail. That's nice. Coming up next, celebrating sports is legal to gamble in America, Vegas has come out with odds on how many games all these quarterbacks are going to play over under. Really, really interesting numbers on what Vegas perceives Josh Allen, Baker, Rosen, Darnold, and Lamar Jackson will play. I'll give you my thoughts on all those numbers. Coming up next, the NBA Conference Finals upon us. Baseball season's off and running. SeatGeek is now the smartest, easiest way to get tickets. You go to the app, 2 taps, you download the SeatGeek app, and it makes your ticket buying experience easier. You save time and money. SeatGeek searches the multiple ticket sites. SeatGeek compares prices. Doesn't end with sports. They do concerts and theater and comedy and sports. It's called SeatGeek. I've downloaded it to my phone. Now, best of all, my listeners get $20 off their first SeatGeek purchase. You download the SeatGeek app, you enter the promo code HERD, and that gets you $20, not 20% off your first SeatGeek purchase. They search the sites. They compare the prices. They find the amazing deals. SeatGeek. Code HERD. $20 off.